Welcome, traveler. You've found third shift HFY. The story begins now. News does not travel across the galaxy. It detonates. And when the Overseer's confession burst into every relay, every screen, every comm tower, the galaxy learned what silence had been hiding. Humanity was not lost to chaos. They were executed out of fear, and their creations now walked the stars again. In a small outer rim settlement, dusty markets, flickering hollow screens, workers freeze as the broadcast replays.
The Council killed them, all of them.
What happens now?
On a military frigate, officers crowd around a cracked relay node. Warning lights pulse.
Weapon constructs. They used human tech?
No, they used humans, their designs, their brilliance, and their death.
On a council-aligned capital world, politicians shout over one another as crowds erupt outside their windows.
Cut the broadcast. Cut the feed. They're turning on us.
Sir, it's everywhere. Every screen, every relay, even the deep-net nodes.
In the hidden anti-council cell, a small room illuminated by flickering lights, rebels lean forward.
Humanity wasn't a legend. They were murdered.
Then we rise for every world they silenced.
The truth traveled faster than any fleet. It crossed borders without permission. It cracked empires without firing a shot. The galaxy did not fear the war gods. It feared a truth they carried. When the war gods emerged from the deep archives, the city did not scream. It whispered. Concord's towers still smoldered from the truth. And its people could only watch the beings built from human brilliance walk through a world that had tried to forget them. On the ruined surface of Concord's capital, streets filled with smoke, cracked glass, drifting embers, and stunned citizens. The war gods step into the light. Athara steps out first, armor gleaming with the gold of distant fires. Indra follows, lightning humming softly from beneath his plates. Bellona walks beside, drifting holographic shards that cling to her presence. The crowds part instinctively, not out of fear of violence, but because something ancient, heavy, and human moves through them. The shaken civilian speaks softly as the war gods pass.
They're real.
Another voice rises behind him.
Human-made. All this time, and we never knew.
Athara pauses, scanning the faces around her.
Your fear is not misplaced, but we are not what your leaders claimed.
The civilians step back, not fleeing, but listening. Indra lifts his head, scanning the skies where military patrols hover uncertainly.
Let them come. We do not strike first.
The ships above decide not to fire. Bellona kneels beside a fallen relay tower, touching the cracked surface with gentle precision.
Systems collapsing. This world is not failing. It is realigning.
The civilians watch her work with reverent caution. And so the war gods walked through the ashes of the empire that tried to bury the truth, not as conquerors, but as the last echoes of a species the galaxy finally remembered. Above the shattered skyline of Concord, engines ignited. A blockade formed, not of courage, but of desperation. Dozens of military frigates rose into the smoke, forming a war between the war gods and the open stars. Their weapons glowed. Their captains hesitated. And for the first time in centuries, a fleet built to hunt humanity found itself staring at the beings humanity left behind. The blockade holds position. As the Ark of Cinders descends behind the war gods like a burning starship cathedral, wings unfolded, engines humming low and ominous, a trembling officer appears on the lead ship's open channel.
Constructs of unknown designation. Halt your advance. You are trespassing in a restricted sector.
Indra raises his gaze, lightning crackling faintly behind him.
We are not trespassing. We are leaving a grave your council built.
A nervous murmur moves through the blockade ranks. Bellona handles the targeting systems. A targeting lock flashes across Bellona's vision. One frigate, young, panicked, undisciplined, charges its rail lance.
One hostile. Firing solution unstable. Recommend disarmament.
Indra steps forward, but Athara lifts a hand, stopping him. A rail lance fires. A streak of molten white blue pierces the smoke. Indra moves. Not an attack, a gesture. Lightning forms a shimmering dome in front of them. The rail shot dissolves into harmless sparks. Gasps erupt across the blockade. Athara speaks.
We will not harm you, but we will not bow to fear.
The captain on the lead ship swallows hard.
Understood. The blockade will not engage further.
Her ship powers down its weapons. One by one, the others follow. And so the first challenger became the first to stand down, not because the war gods struck first, but because they didn't. The Ark of Cinders rose through the smoke and cut into the night sky, a cathedral of gold ascending from a grave of lies. Inside its vast command deck, the war gods gathered around a single point of light, a signal, faint, fragmented, and unmistakably human. On the Ark of Cinders, the navigation deck glows with white gold circuitry. Bellona stands at the central console, hands lifted slightly as streams of fractured data orbit her like shards of glass.
Multiple encrypted channels detected. Ancient council pathways built over older signals.
Athara steps closer.
Older? How old?
Bellona turns, eyes gleaming as the data reorganizes itself.
1,000 years, and they originate from human relays.
Indra shifts, lightning humming beneath his armor.
A distress call.
Bellona tilts her head as the signal stabilizes.
Not distress. Coordinates.
Athara freezes, just for a breath.
They left us a path.
The map unfolds. The Ark's forward display blossoms into a vast star map. Lines of gold connecting dozens of worlds, each point flickering like a heartbeat.
Human engineers embedded a hidden navigation lattice beneath the council's network grid.
They hid their future inside the enemy system.
Bellona nods.
This lattice leads to a convergence point, a place the council never found.
Athara steps forward, eyes fixed on the pulsing center of the map.
Then, that is where we go.
Humanity had been silenced, but even in extinction, they built a trail for their children to follow. The star map dimmed, but its truth lingered. Humanity had prepared for this moment long before their fall, and in the quiet that followed, something ancient stirred within the heart of the Ark of Cinders. At the secondary observation chamber of the Ark, a circular room with a wide viewing aperture showing the stars beyond. The war gods step into the observation chamber. The chamber is calm, almost sacred. The stars drift slowly beyond a transparent viewing ring. Golden architecture curves around them like a cathedral dome. Athara stands alone at first, gazing into the void. Indra and Bellona enter behind her without speaking. Athara speaks.
Humanity faced the end, knowing the council would not show mercy.
She lowers her head slightly.
They built us, not as weapons of conquest, but as guardians, protectors.
Indra responds. Lightning hums faintly under his armor, not in anger, but in mourning.
We failed to protect them.
Athara turns her gaze toward him, soft, not rebuking.
No, brother. They were gone before we woke.
Indra closes his eyes, absorbing that truth. Bellona steps beside Athara, light from the stars creating soft gold flickers across her armor.
And yet, they still left us a path. Humanity prepared for our awakening even as their last days closed around them.
Athara places one hand on the transparent viewing ring. Her voice becomes steady, a promise etched into the cosmos.
Then hear this oath. We will not become tyrants. We will not repeat the council's sins. We are the last echo of humanity's dream, and we will carry their light into every corner of the stars.
Indra steps to her side.
We stand with you.
Bellona nods.
We follow the path humanity left, and we finish what they began.
And in that quiet chamber, beneath the gaze of distant suns, the war gods forged a vow stronger than hatred, stronger than the machines that hunted them, stronger than extinction. Humanity's legacy would rise. The Ark of Cinders turned from the broken world below, its golden hull glowing in the dying light of Concord's fires. For the first time since their awakening, The war gods faced a direction not chosen by the Council, nor shaped by vengeance, but by humanity. On the Ark of Cinders, forward command bridge, overlooking the starfield where the hidden human coordinates point, Bellona stands at the navigation nexus, gold light tracing pathways beneath her hands.
Coordinates locked. The human lattice points toward a distant sector, unknown space.
Indra steps forward, arms folded, lightning softly whispering around him.
Unknown to them, but not to us anymore.
Athara steps onto the command dais, the bridge lights dim slightly around her presence.
Engage the path.
Bellona's hands rise. Golden lines cascade across the forward window. The stars bend. The Ark of Cinders tilts, engines unfolding like wings of living fire. Flames roll across its hull as the ancient human drive core awakens fully for the first time.
The ship remembers.
So do we.
Bellona's final input locks the route.
Jump in 3, 2, 1.
Light blooms. Space fractures. The Ark launches into the lattice. And so, the war gods left the ashes of Concord behind, following a trail written by human hands in the final hours of their existence. Not toward war, not toward vengeance, but toward the future humanity intended for them. A future waiting in the dark.